on. We're going to have a conversation now with two individuals who are part of an initiative. The name of the initiative is the ROCC initiative, ROCC, and it's basically reclaiming our community from crime. And in terms of this initiative, a number of activities would have taken place this week. We will get into the details. But ironically, we have a goalkeeper and a defender. And they putting up their defense to ensure that we can definitely reclaim our communities from crime. And with us this morning, we have Mr. Cyd Gray and Mr. Maurice Goddard. Well, I see you with your police cap there, Mr. Maurice Goddard, sure. The police arm of this initiative. Mr. Cyd Gray, of course, we all know him as a former national senior team player with us this morning. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, sir. How are you today? And good morning, Tobago.
Good morning.
Yes, man. So let's get straight into it. So we heard about this initiative earlier this year, and you all even came back on set recently, so just give us an update. But this week in particular had a series of activities. Before we get into those activities, just for persons who may not be aware, just tell us exactly about the inception of this particular initiative and the success so far.
So this initiative was birthed by the senior soup, and then Cyd Gray came on board with Miss Groom, and they would have worked hard and got Miss Warriors together, and they partnered with us, and we started this initiative in Shaw Park in January, where we had the first clinic and also the first game. And after that, we've had a series of clinics throughout many of the communities in Tobago. Many of these clinics were successful, and some of the parents and even the students are, reaching out to us. So we have to say that it's growing, and things are happening behind the scene that is positive.
Okay, I remember every Monday we would have conversations with the TTPS, and I specifically remember Inspector Alicia Pigott telling us about that first encounter at Shaw Park. And at the time, well, for me, I was under the impression that, hey, football is an opportunity to take a sweat. But more importantly, is an opportunity to interact with members of the community. How has that been so far, Mr. Gray?
Well, that has been great so far, because just using the word football, or we really want to say sports, to bring the people back into the fold. And that has been so successful because people love the way of interacting with people in sports, and as far as we go along, when we go into the community, we have been getting great feedback from the community.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I could imagine when you play the sport, you take a sweat, naturally on the field, you're competitive and you're enjoying the football and so on, but off the field is the perfect opportunity to, hear from the community and also offer some kind of support coming from the police side of things. How has that been? Because I know naturally you would want persons to speak up and you would want to see the police presence, but this is almost like a strategy and backed upon to have those conversations that you may not necessarily get in the police station, you may not necessarily get when you're doing your patrols. Tell us give us a perspective from the police side of things, Mr. Goddard.
Well, as citizens, sports breaks barriers. And you and all will know when you're sweating, you make friends on the field, even though you're competitive. So when you come off, sometimes, even in the picong, sometimes people say, well, you know so-and-so, so-and-so. And that is what you need. Because sometimes when you come to the station, sometimes it's so rigid there. But when you're on the football field, everybody relax, everybody in their environment. Remember, as a footballer, you're in your environment. And you're open to speak, you're open to make friends, you're open to, to partnership. And that's what we want, partnership with the community.
Mm-hmm. And how do you all engage the communities? Is it that you have an itinerary for the entire year from January to date, and you go and you make an arrangement with specific clubs? What is that process like? Because persons would people might be hearing it for the first time and they want to get involved, or they want their community to be part of it. Tell us how that proceedings
Well, basically,
go about?
this has been coming along quite fine. We really try to partner with people in the community. So when we might say, if we go to Plymouth, we might partner with someone that is very known in the community, and we partner with them and try to bring them together in the fold. And they come with their team and they organize, and they bring the children, organize, galvanize, or let me use Plymouth. So we use Stokelyville. And we come and we partner with them, bring the children out, have the clinics, and we partner. We have the games and so forth, and we have a good time.
Yeah. I mean, it making sense, and I would assume that it is working so far in terms of what you all would have set out to do, and based on the feedback thus far. What happened this week in particular? I understand that this week had a series of activities, and this weekend it continues.
Yeah, so this week we started with I don't want to say a church service, but basically it was, a church service, bringing the children together, parents, some of the people who would have been part of this initiative. So we started there, and then on Tuesday we had school visits. Wednesday we had a clinic down at the sporting facility near YMCA. We had that, and yesterday we had some other activities. Today I think we are doing some more school visits in connection with what's going to happen over the weekend to sensitize some of the other schools of what we want to do tomorrow and what we want to do on Sunday. So tomorrow we have a beach soccer competition with the youths on the beach near the facility by YMCA.
Beach soccer, interesting. Sorry, I wouldn't be around for that one there, but naturally it's simulating a certain level of excitement. And today, Friday, May the 16th, today's the 16th, right? Today's supposed to be the International Day of the Boy Child, speaking to the well-being of the boy child and so on. And before I go back into the details for what is happening this weekend, there are certain individuals in the communities that may have their personal issues, and they may raise it during these matches or these engagements and stuff. Is there a certain level of, or is there personnel who can speak to like mental assistance and that kind of stuff? Is there those type of experts part of the team?
Sure. When we go to the committee, we just doesn't go with the police and the players. We go with counselors as well, to talk to parents, to make sure that they understand, to teach them about what to learn about children if they are leaning on the other side of the law. So we work with everybody. We just don't just go just for football and that, but we try to do everything to make sure that we have it in a nutshell.
Right. But you, Cyd Gray, you naturally, whether you accept it or not, you would be a role model, and some of the other well-known individuals who are part of this initiative would be role models. Is it, how difficult of a task is it to take on that responsibility, one, but also to, you may come across as a father figure for some of these young men. How difficult of a task that is, especially with some of the cries that you would hear, and even you, Mr. Goddard, you would hear persons or youth men saying, well, nobody in here in me, and I appreciate the little sweat and thing, but nobody in answering certain things that I need, I can't see make ends meet and so on. How difficult of a task is that?
Well, the thing is, I tell people I live it, so it's easy for me to relate, and it's easy for me to sit and speak to someone in that scenario. And many of the players that, especially from the national setup, people might only know them over TV and say, that Ben Sancho, or that R.O.C.C, or that Cyd Gray, but they all came from an experience, and they all could relate to somebody. Beside the counselors, they have us, and we try to speak with them, and share our experience, and also try to give them solutions. Because you could share your experience, but if you don't give solutions, then you're not doing anything. So we try to give them solutions also. We don't say that it'll work at the same time, but we share numbers, we tell them who they can call, stuff like that. Just to make sure that it doesn't just stay with football only.
Right, Mr. Gray, you want to add to that?
Well, it's a family.
Ah.
And for me, growing up, the village grew me up. So I want that to get back to Tobago. So the village grows not like Cyd here and, Cyd just saying about him. No, Cyd had to say about somebody else. And somebody else say about somebody else. So if we continue that, we'll get back to Tobago where it was, that we have to be worrying that I don't have Goddard, I had to go and visit Goddard. I don't want Goddard to come and pick up any youth.
Right.
You understand? I just want the youth to be successful in life.
Yeah. And you said it's a family, and you said that the village raised you, the community raised you as a R.O.C.C pro man. And I'm hearing our production manager that one like it struck him because he's also a R.O.C.C pro man. And it's good to hear this because we would hear the phrase "it takes a village to raise a child," but somehow today is a little different. So I like the initiative, and of course persons who's hearing it for the first time, reclaiming our community from crime. The R.O.C.C initiative that is ongoing, and this weekend you spoke about you mentioned some of the soccer warriors, the former national players. What exactly is taking place on Sunday? So is it a situation where you have some of our legends who would be present there on Sunday in this camp? Tell us exactly what is taking place. So I know the beach soccer is tomorrow, Saturday. Tell us exactly what is taking place Sunday.
Well, on Sunday at 3 p.m. we'll have a camp, and these ex-soccer warriors, footballers, will be conducting the camp with some of the TTPS police officers at the Police Youth Club, and I think Police Youth Club might be too small. So we might have to extend it to the secondary school, because at that time there will be cricket going on at the Cyd Gray complex, and after that then we have the football against the Rock the Island, against Roxbury Lakers, and then Speyside against these former soccer warriors.
What? So apart from the clinic, there's actual exhibition?
Yes.
All right. And is it free?
Free. Just walk with your cooler and come.
Boy.
We doesn't charge.
All right. No, well, that's you can't go wrong with that. And so what? So the beach soccer is also free for persons to attend?
Yes, free.
Everything is free.
Everything is free?
Free.
All right. So you're getting that. So you're getting the engagement and the whole motive behind this program, but it also has that entertainment value for persons to come out and be part of it. What happens after? After this weekend, the rock program continues throughout the year?
Yes, continues. We have charted a course until June. But after June, we want to see which communities we should go back in, and also which communities we should bring on board, and so on. So we didn't want to plan a whole year of activity. So we wanted first 6 months, we see where we're going from there, see what we need to improve, see where we need to go, and then we take it from there. But it should go right throughout the year.
All right, fantastic. At least there's a plan, and it seems to be working so far. In terms of those who are interested in participating in the football this weekend as players, not the games on Sunday, but the beach soccer tomorrow. I'm seeing a question here in terms of registration and stuff. Is it already closed? Is it open? How can persons be part of that beach soccer?
Well, I think there's a registration online for a team, but it's really from age 15 down. We was targeting this week because it was really targeting the C students who will be going on to the secondary school.
Oh, okay.
So these are the children, the boys really we were targeting. But if we do have a team within that age group, please come.
All right. Well, yes, it seems to be generating a buzz, because I'm seeing some questions coming in here in terms of registration. But as I said, 15 and under for now. But persons could still come and enjoy and experience what is taking place there. Anything else you want to add, Mr. Goddard, in terms of this initiative and your call to, there may be a youth man listening now or a parent listening right now, and they going through a particular situation and wants to be part of this. Take the opportunity to issue your call.
Well, basically, I want to say two things. please support this initiative. Bring your child and come. There are people who can speak with you, regardless of what part of Tobago you're from. Bring your child and come. One of the other things I want to say, though, is that be a parent and really support your child. Whether you're male or female, or your child is male or female, support your child. Be there with your child. If when your child is wrong, that child still needs support. Yes, discipline, but that child needs support. So support your child. Give your child the best opportunity. And as the Bible says, grow up your child in the way he should go, and he will never depart from it. If you take that, you'll be okay.
And again, I didn't get to ask, but in terms of the initiative dealing with like something like bullying, how is that incorporated into this program? Any one of you could take that.
This is where we are. Yeah, a child who is being bullied, child who is not being taken care of properly in the home. We want to speak to the parents. If we go to the community and we see a child that is not being taken care of, because we have been to communities and we seen child that have a proper shoes, we try to fix that. It's not just that we just want to just come into the community. We try to fix if a child is given trouble. We go to the child and have a conversation with the child. We try to break that cycle of being, if you are a bully, we try to break the bully. If you are on the wrong side, we try to break that. So it is about bringing love and bringing back happiness to Tobago.
Mr. Gray, I have two questions for you. One with regards to discipline, because I mean, you would have played this sport at a high level, which requires a certain level of discipline and commitment. Just based on your observation, how concerning is it nowadays looking at the young fellas, the young children, and their inability to be as disciplined as required to be a goodly citizen on and off the field?
First of all, I have to say, I have lots of talent. Secondly, you have to be more mindful of what we do and how we do it. And they have to be dedicated to what they want to do in life. Well, as for me, football, well, let me say sports, because I've played for the national team in cricket as well, track and field as well, and football. So when I was 19, I decided that finish the last two and continue with football. And it's a matter of discipline and training. When everybody else is sleeping, you have to be putting in the work. It's the same way in studies. When someone wants to be a doctor or a lawyer or be something in life, when people are sleeping, you are up studying. So you have to learn to balance both and put yourself there for the success.
And the second question, those who not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, because I mean, let's just look at these sports in particular. You may have the talent, as you mentioned, and there's a lot of talent on the island, but for some reason, for multiple reasons, you can't really see yourself reaching to that level because of probably lack of opportunity, resources, and so on. And that could kind of turn you off to a level where you decide to take an next part and you're not willing to make the sacrifice.
I wouldn't say lack of opportunities. No, I wish I was 19 because the opportunities now are greater than when I was there. And it's just that you have to know what you want. You cannot expect to just leave high school or just walking into a team. You have to be exceptional. Yes, but you have to continue the work and being committed to that work to make sure that you reach that where you want to reach. It's not just about just that you feel that, because we might say in this school here, hey, this is a star boy and you just drop back, he's a big boy. And no, it's not like that.
Okay.
You have to put in that work.
Yeah, and I heard it from Cyd Gray himself. They had to put in the work. Fellas who are listening, and even the young girls who are participating, because I realize that the women's football is growing as well. And as you all continue to emphasize, is more than just football, using sports to engage individuals in the society today. Any parting words, gentlemen? Of course, the Reclaiming Our Community from Crime initiative is on. This week I had a series of activities. Tomorrow, beach soccer taking place at Colande. And on Sunday, there's a specific camp at R.O.C.C, and you said at the Police Youth Club, and followed by exhibition matches. Any final words, gentlemen? Mr. Goddard, I could take you first before we close.
Yes, I'll like to tell the whole of Tobago, thanks so far for the support. And I'm looking forward to the support over this weekend, and may God continue to bless you guys in Jesus' name.
Yeah, and Mr. Gray?
All I have to say, come out and support the initiative, be a part of it, because there will be coaches around. You never know what could happen.
Yeah. All right, well, you heard it from the gentleman. By the way, you still had a skate tackle, a signature skate tackle.
Now, if I fall on now, remember the bones.
Yeah, so we heard from Cyd Gray there and Maurice Goddard, of course. This initiative is ongoing, and they're inviting you to be part of it as they tackle each community at a time. Thank you for being with us this morning, gentlemen.